So today, a friend and I had a really interesting discussion about private Christian school. And of course, I have experience there um, personally and also operating within the ministry and having my hands in different activities when it comes to private Christian school. With that said, we were talking about what private Christian school is really about and what makes it so important. And while I was rambling on and on and on, which I tend to do, I kind of stumbled onto um, a new feeling that I have about it. I mean, I guess it's not so new, but I was able to verbalize something that I've felt for quite some time. Um, I don't know if you've ever thought this about your child, that your child was super easily influenced. I mean, it just seems like if everybody was going to run over some sort of cliff or jump off a bridge, your kid would be like, sign me up, I want to go. And you're like, how in the world is my child like this? As hard as I'm working to raise this child to think for his self or herself or himself, I'm sorry, but yeah, you're just trying so hard, and it seems like nothing you do makes a difference. Your child is still going to go with the crowd or be easily influenced um, or put their neck out there for another child or go out on a limb for another child, and you're so confused about it. Well, today when I was talking about private Christian school, I was talking about how important it was that I skipped a lot of public school years as a child in a small private school environment. It was important for me because of the type of personality that I have. Now I can look back and see why God had my steps ordered that way, because my personality could not have handled being submerged in a culture of super sexuality and bullying and a lot of things that I missed out on. Um, I couldn't have handled. I think that there is a grace, to be able to handle a lot of that stuff at a young age, and almost a force field, so to speak, that kind of protects our students from the public school atmosphere. But I think that there are certain types of people who really just can't handle that kind of environment, and that was me, because it would have been year round for me. Because after school, I'll go home to the Word. During school, I was in a private Christian school with the Word, but in the summertime, I wasn't. I was submerged in an atmosphere that may have been more sexual than I was used to. I saw a lot of television shows I didn't watch at home, music that I listened to. I remember being like really young, singing, "Let's talk about sex, baby." I don't know if y'all remember that, but I was a kid singing that, and looking back, it's like, hold on, that was not a nursery rhyme. So for me, it wouldn't have been good for me to year round be submerged in a culture like that. So God just ordered my steps. Anyway, I said all that to say that Private Christian Academy is very important, and for some students it's really a matter of reaching your destiny or not. And I'm not saying that everyone has to shove their child into a private Christian academy. You have to follow the leading of the Holy Spirit and go with what you feel He is telling you to do for your child. But what I have noticed is that a lot of intercessors, and I'm not just talking about the now lay me down to sleep, but I'm talking about those students or those children who have just a very obvious supernatural thing on them, where they can easily discern the feelings of the kids around them. They can tell, and almost like an old soul too, but very connected to what's going on around them. Very mature when it comes to that. Those types of kids, if you notice, will also sometimes come across easily influenced when they're around a group of kids who may be different than they are. And it seems like, after a minute, they kind of become this chameleon, so to speak. Well, in my opinion, those students are usually intercessors. They're usually very discerning and usually very absorbent, and will be able to kind of soak in what's around them. And in the future, they'll know what to do with that. After their gifts have been harnessed, they'll know when you're soaking in what's around you, that means you're supposed to take that burden and take what you're soaking in, and you're supposed to take it to the altar and give it to God, because you are a prayer warrior. But as a young person, they may not be aware of that yet. So I said all that to say, Mommy, Daddy, if you notice that your child is super easily influenced, don't think there's anything weird about them. Don't think that there's something wrong with them. They may just be an intercessor. And you may have to figure out how you want to harness that gift and teach them how to use um, their giftings for their good and for the good of those around them, for the good of the kingdom ultimately. So I just wanted to pop up and say a little something about Private Christian Academy. Now enjoy the rest of your Friday night.